right, there we are. So, welcome. Today's session, we are going to hit 4 blocks of work. We're going to hit lower body, upper body, core. We've got a balance section, and then we've got a finisher. So it's like a bonus 5th block, but the block isn't going to be as long as the first 4. Each block is going to be 4 minutes. I know that sounds super long, but it's going to go really quickly, I promise you. Maybe. Each block has 2 moves in it. And we're going to separate each movement for a minute apiece, but that's going to get broken down as well with different timings and kind of slightly different techniques with each of our movements that we're going to be doing. So don't worry if none of that makes any sense. I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to cue it as we go through. Ultimately, you're going to be doing an exercise for 30 seconds, and then we're going to be moving on to another exercise for 30 seconds. That's all you really need to know. We're going to get total body in today. There will be breaks, so after the completion of each 4-minute block, we'll get a minute of rest so that you can recover, you can get water, you can stretch anything out that you need to, and then we'll go into our next section. So make sure you've got a nice clear space available to you, water on hand, sneakers if you are wearing them, barefoot if you want to be, but make sure that your space is safe, and turn on some tunes that you love so that you can get into it. Dave, you look very bright. Paul also has a bright yellow bit on top of him. Right. So let's get our timer set, team. We're going to get into our warm-up first. Wish I could turn music on. That's up all the way. All right. So just start to shake out those legs. Nice, gentle jog. If you want to take it to a tap back, remember, this is your workout, your choice. Do whatever works best for your body. I'm going to crack windows while we're getting set. Start to find your own rhythm, your own balance.
That's halfway.
Take a deep breath in. Maybe start to roll those shoulders out or take the arms across the body. Just starting to loosen everything off, get the heart rate up. Breathing, always important. All right, when you're ready, take your feet nice and wide, and then just start with some big arm circles to the front.
3, 2,
and
1.
Then reverse it to the back.
Warm up.
Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Keep your chest up nice and tall. The upper body is definitely going to work today, so we're going to make sure that it's nice and warmed up, that everything is loose and limber. Remember to keep breathing. You can walk around if you want to. And then when you're ready, come into a little torso twist, little pivot on the toe. You can't see my feet at the moment, but I'm pivoting on my toe, lifting my heel. I'll turn my camera for anybody that's on YouTube that's not sure what a pivot is. Boom. Good, team. Looking good. Nice, tall torso. Find some length in your spine, little flexibility. And when you're ready, come and heel toe just outside your hips. Square your hips off with the front of the room or the camera, and then sink the hips back into a nice, easy squat just to start us off. We've got 4 more, and then we're going to add on, and we're going to reach towards the floor for a little hamstring stretch. So my head is going to disappear below the camera line. We're going to do 1 squat, and we're going to reach down, trying to reach for the floor. 1 squat. And then reach down for those toes. Tipping from the hips. Nice flat back as you tip forward. You can keep the knees soft. You can bend the knees if you need to. We're still warming up. So this might feel a bit tight if this is your first movement of the day. 1 more set. Beautiful. Take it to a couple of hip openers. So draw your knee up towards your chest and then open it to the side, and then place your foot back on the ground. Up, around, and down. I like to take a little step in between. Gives you a little boost, a little momentum. Keep the core and the belly drawn in. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Nice work. If you have something nearby and you want to hold on to it, take your leg off to the side and then cross it in front of the body. Leg off to the side, cross it in front of the body. If you want to do this standing with your hands on your hips, that's fine too. Holding on to something for a warm-up is nice. And then we're just going to change sides. Couple of swings, opening up those hips again, bringing that leg in front of the body. Just notice if you feel any tightness, if you feel any cricks or cracks. One more. Nice. Shake anything else out that you need to. We're going to get into our first set of movements. 2 exercises. We've got a lunge and a squat. So in our lunge, we take our leg nice and long behind us, nice long step back, and then we try to aim for 90 degrees in both knees. I'm going to pause this really quick because I'm going to see if I can get a better angle. All right, so most of you are familiar with a lunge, but for anybody that is not, nice long step back, front knee goes over the line of the front toe, back knee under hip, and we come into that lunge. So we're going to play with our tempo and our timing in this team. We've got 3 seconds. Take a nice long step back with one of your legs.
Exercise 1.
And we go for 2 counts to the bottom and 2 counts for the top. So it's nice and slow. I'm counting in my head. And we're here for 30 seconds. Now this is just to set up our movement, to get a nice strong technique. Shoulders are squared off with the front of the room. We're driving through the front heel. And that front knee is coming over that midline of the mid-toe. Back knee is under our hip. We're squeezing our glutes. And we're going to go 2 pulses and 1 step in.
Exercise
so here we are,
1.
30 seconds here. It's 2 short pulses and 1 big step in where you do a little toe tap. And then 1 big long step back to come back into that strong lunge form. Now you can do whatever arms feel most comfortable, most powerful for you. I like my little superhero, super runner arms, but if you want to hold out 1 arm to the side, you could do that. If you want both arms on the hips. 3, 2, 1. Feet
Exercise
go nice and wide.
Slow.
Squats. So we're in our wide position. Toes go out. Knees go out. I'm not sure if my head is cut off right now. Oh, good. Then we're great. So we're driving into our heels, sitting our hips back, and trying to get down to the knee line. Nice and slow and controlled. Nice breath work. Getting that form and technique first. And then we're going to pick up the pace with 2 pulses. And then
3,
come up.
2,
So it's a down,
1.
up,
Exercise
down,
2.
lift.
Pulse.
Down, up, down, lift. Sinking back into those heels. Again, pushing those knees out in line with that middle toe and feeling your glutes squeeze at the bottom to help drive you back up. You got 15 seconds, team. You're looking great. Keep your chest up. Keep the abs pulled in. We're working on time and tension today. You have 4 seconds left.
3,
We're going to
2,
lunge on the other
1.
side. So
Exercise 1.
change sides
Slow.
to 2. Whatever leg you did first, we're changing. I think I'm on the right leg. Back knee under hip. Long stance behind you. Static lunge right here. Static means that we're staying in the same position. We're not moving those feet. They're staying where they are. You might feel your legs starting to quiver because they're tired. We're going to take it into
3,
those 2 pulses
2,
and 1
1.
step forward.
Exercise
Here we go.
1.
2
Pulse.
pulses, 1 step forward. Now on the pulse, how low can you sink? And then drive forward and take that long step back. Good, team. You're looking good. You're looking strong. This is where we challenge our stability, our balance, squaring those hips off, squaring those shoulders off. We're going to go back into squats
3,
in 3,
2, 1. Exercise
toes
2.
wider.
Slow.
Take a heel toe wider from where you were last time. And then push those knees out and come back to the top. Nice and slow, calm the breath. Do you feel your heart rate? Mine's beating really hard. I hope you guys are breathing and working with me. Good. Down, down, up, up. Constant motion, constant time under tension.
3, 2.
We've got the bottom
1.
half pulse. So we go
Exercise
down,
2.
add a little
Pulse.
pulse, and then squeeze to come back up. Down, pulse, down, lift. Push those knees out. Now as we get tired, our chest is going to want to fall forward. So I want you to try to lift it. Little pinch of the shoulder blades to keep that chest lifted. Abs in, push those knees out. Sink into those heels, squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice work, team. Shake that out. Woo. quads are working, glutes are working. Nice work. Water. This is your 1 minute break. Use it. I'm going to take you through our next 2 exercises. If you have, I should have said this at the start, a step, a staircase, a couch, a chair, a countertop, a sturdy coffee table, something that you can lean up against and use for tricep dips, now's the time to grab it. You've got about 30 seconds, or adjust your camera, or you can just come down to the floor, which I think you can see me. Fingertips towards your hips, toes facing away, lift the hips up tall, and then hinge at those elbows. We've got triceps dips, followed by push-ups. I'll set up the push-ups when we get there. Make sure that you've got space. Set up your camera however you need to. My head is cut off at the moment, that's fine.
1. Exercise 1.
Here we go. 2-2. Down, down, up, up. Dave, is my head cut off? Is it cut off now when I go all the way up? Okay, great. Excellent, excellent. So, heels are underneath your knees, and our hips only sink because we hinge at the elbows, team. Elbows go towards the back of the room. We're aiming for that 90-degree bend, and then we are going to
3,
add that bottom half
2,
pulse.
1.
So bottom half
Exercise
pulse,
1.
full
Pulse.
extension. Bottom half pulse, full extension. Take a deep breath. Exhale on that push through the palm. As we get tired, as we get into this, as we get low, our shoulders are going to want to creep. We want to keep them pulled back, draw them away from the ears. We're breathing, we're keeping that chest lifted, we're keeping the abs pulled in. All of the things are working.
3,
2, set
1.
up on the floor for a push-up.
Exercise 2.
Hands are
Slow.
nice and wide, legs are nice and long. 2 down. So let's talk about options. We can be in a box, so knees under the hips, hands outside shoulders. We could be on the knees, hips are tucked, hands stay in the same place. Or we could be up on those toes. Down, down, up, up. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. I hope you can
3,
still see me.
2.
We've
1.
got 1 push-up,
Exercise 2.
1 leg
Pulse.
lift. Something a little different. 1 push-up, 1 leg lift. Make sure you've got space. I do not have a lot of space, so I'm going to adjust and use the space that I do have to stay in it. Find that bottom range of motion. Knees, box, toes, your choice. You're squeezing that glute to help lift your leg, keeping the core nice and tight.
3,
Shoulders are pulled
2,
back.
1.
Rest.
Exercise
It's
1.
not really a rest.
Slow.
It's just a transition. It's a transition. Elbows back. 2. We slide down. We press up. I am right next to the heater right now. It's still pumping hot air for some reason, although we've turned the heat off 2 hours ago. Not complaining. It's just very warm. Stay in it, team. You've got 6 seconds, and then we're going to add that bottom half pulse.
3, 2.
Here we go.
1.
Find your bottom range.
Exercise 1.
Add a little pulse, and then push away. Bottom range, pulse, and push. We want to get into that 90-degree range, or as close to it as possible. We don't need to go far, but we want to work the back of the arm so that this back muscle is squeezing. Keep breathing. Don't break the chair. 6 seconds. You got this. 3. No,
3,
that's 3, 2, 1.
1.
Push-ups.
Exercise
Back to
2.
the floor, team.
Slow.
Hands nice and wide. In a box, on the knees, or on the toes. Now, take options. If being on the floor is too much, you could always come to your table, to your couch, and use that piece of equipment, use that piece of furniture to help with the push-ups. You could be against the wall. Pardon my back to you. But you could try to touch your nose to the wall. You've got 3 seconds.
2,
We've got 1
1.
push-up, 1 leg
Exercise
lift.
2.
Down,
Pulse.
up, lift, and reset. Down, up, lift, reset. We're breathing. We're squeezing. We're pushing through that floor. You're doing awesome, team. Upper body is almost finished. You've got 10 seconds left. Stay in it. Find that pressure zone. Where can you push
3,
a little harder?
2, 1.
Rest.
Rest.
Knees down. Sit the hips back. Open up the chest. Give yourself a little tricep stretch, perhaps. Nice work. Take on some water. Core is next. So we're going to stay on the floor for this one. I'm going to adjust my camera again. Adjust your camera however you need to. All right. We're going to start lying down. We've got a glute bridge, supine position, which means we're going to lie on our backs. Feet are going to be flat on the floor, and we're going to press into our upper back to lift our hips high to the sky. Then we're going to lower back down. We're going to play with timing and tempo again, and then we're going to move into a C crunch. Elbows wide, fingertips by the temples, and we peel our shoulders off the floor, and then we lower down. Feet are going to stay flat, and then we'll progress it. Starting with those hip bridges.
Slow.
Up, up, back down. Take a big breath, and then lower. So our hips are driving towards the ceiling. We are squeezing our glutes by driving our heels into the floor and squeezing our bum cheeks together as we press into our upper back to lift us up off the ground. Our belly is pulled in, belly button is pulling to the spine.
1.
We go
Exercise
up,
1.
halfway lift,
Pulse.
or halfway drop, and then drive up. Up, halfway drop, and then drive up. It's hard to say. Down, halfway lift, and then full rise. Down, halfway lift, full rise. Little pulse, just like the pace that we've been holding with our other motions, our other movements. It's a little squeeze, a little pulse.
3, 2, 1.
Hips down,
Exercise
fingertips
2.
to temples,
Slow.
elbows out. We lift for 2 and lower for 2. Crunch up and then lower back down. Now options here, team. We can add the legs in. Bending at the knees, lifting into tabletop, and then rolling back down. Your choice, your workout. Pull from the belly, pull from the abs, press the back into the mat.
3, 2,
We've
1.
got pulses.
Exercise
So we
2.
lift and pulse
Pulse.
for 2 and then lower back down. Arms extend. Palms are facing up. Feet are flat on the floor to start. Reach for 2 and lower. Exhale on that reach. Option 2, we come into a tabletop and those knees come up and then they drop back down. You choose between
3,
which option.
2, 1. Exercise
Back to
1.
our hip bridges.
Slow.
Slow. Up, up, down, down. Now if you're modifying, maybe you only take a half lift and you don't drive those hips all the way to the sky. But while we're in this slow position, now is the time where you can challenge yourself a little bit more in that range. See how high you can squeeze up and then control the lower back down.
3, 2, 1.
Top half
Exercise
lift.
1.
Up.
Pulse.
Pulse and then drive. Pulse it. Drive up. That pulse is in that mid-range. That mid-range is if you were going to lower your hips all the way, but then you squeeze and drive it back up. Bum is squeezed together, controlling that tension, pushing into the upper back. We're breathing, yes. It's hard
3,
to remember sometimes.
1.
C crunches.
Exercise 2.
2.
Slow.
Up, up, down, down. Now if elbows out are a pain in the bum, I prefer my arms long so that I can reach and keep my shoulders away from my ears. You could always change your arm position. Remember, option is to also just keep your feet flat on the floor. You could use those palms up the knees to control it. Exhale.
3,
Inhale.
1.
We're going to add
Exercise
a pulse.
2. Pulse.
2 pulses. And then lower down. Inhale on the release. Exhale. Inhale. Options. Tabletop. Or legs extend all the way. Nice long legs if you want that added challenge. Level up.
3,
Almost there, team.
2,
Almost there.
1.
Hug the knees
Rest.
to the chest. Give yourself a little rollout. Well done. we're going to come up. Take your time, coming up to stand, find your space. We've got our balance section, balance round. I think that'll be all right. Grab some water, 2 moves again. We have a flamingo, and then we have a side raise with our legs. So for the flamingo, let me move my mat out of the way. Flamingos. One leg is nice and steady. The other leg is going to tip back. Fingertips can be at your ears. Whoop, there goes my balance. Fingertips can be at the hips. Or you could extend those arms nice and long. We're going to stay there for a first section. Second movement, we've got a leg lift.
3,
So we're just lifting
2,
out to the side.
1.
Starting with our
Exercise
flamingos,
1,
find
slow.
some space. Arms can go long out in front of you. Belly is pulled in, nice and slow. We go out, out, in, in. Now everyone is going to have different balance, different flexibility. So if my 2-2, if my slow is too fast, slow it down farther for you. Extend, flatten that foot, drive through the
3,
heel, spread
2,
your toes.
1.
We're going to add a
Exercise
little
1,
pulse. So
pulse.
as your leg is extended, 2 pulses, and then come back to stand. Tip, pulse for 2, and then come back to stand. Now the added challenge here, team, is to not put your foot down. So the foot that is lifting, keep it hovered when you come to stand nice and tall. Squeezing that glute to lift that leg.
3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Exercise
Come
2,
to stand, hands
slow.
on the hips, leg out to the side, and then come together. Now again, you can't see my feet right now, but the option is to either tap your toe down, or you can keep it hovering. Second option, you can always grab onto the bookcase, grab onto the table that's next to you, grab onto a chair, whatever you need to help hold that balance. Work on squeezing from the glute and your inner
3,
and outer thigh.
2,
We've
1.
got 2 pulses out.
Exercise 2,
Pulse,
pulse.
pulse, slow come in. Pulse, pulse, slow come in. Now remember, you can tap if you need to, touch your toe down in between, or for that challenge, try to keep it elevated the whole time. Nice. Belly is pulled in, our core is engaged to help keep us tall. Think of having a nice long spine, standing as tall as you can, spreading the toes
3,
on the standing foot.
2, 1. Exercise
Rest.
1,
Well,
slow.
it's not really a rest. It's a flamingo on the other side. So, slow and back. So we're working on balance. If you fall out of it, don't worry about it. It's fine. One ankle might be stronger than the other. My left ankle does not want to participate today. So take your time. Find the pace that works for you nice and slow.
3,
And then
2,
we're going to add that
1.
pulse.
Exercise
Double
1,
pulse by
pulse.
squeezing your glute, and then come to stand. Squeeze, and then contract to stand. It's still controlled. We don't just drop the leg. That other leg, that standing leg, is on fire right now, I bet. Yeah? Square off those shoulders with the floor. Nice flat back on your tip, and pull your belly in to protect that lower back. We don't want an arch there. We want to make
3,
sure we're squeezing
2,
from our bum.
1. Exercise
All right,
2,
side raise
slow.
on the other side. Now, other option, lessen your range of motion. You don't have to get that leg out to your hip. It's fine. Right here, just a little bit, working on that stability of your ankle. That might be where you want to be today. If you can get it up a little higher, try it. Squeeze the glute to help get that leg nice and long. We have a flexed foot, which means that
3,
we're trying to pull our
2,
toes towards our
1.
nose. And then we're going to
Exercise
add our
2,
pulse.
pulse.
Pulse it out. I'm not sure what my timer thinks that I wrote into it. It says pulses, but it has a funny accent when it's like palace. Squeeze, lift, whoop. And remember, option is to just stay low, reduce that range. We're still squeezing. That standing leg is still working hard to balance.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Rest.
Your timer is complete.
Nice work. We are not done, team. The timer might be out, but we're not done. We have a high intensity section. So we are going to go for 1 minute. That's it, 1 minute. We've got our lunge with a double pulse, a step in wide, 1 squat, or it could be a squat jump, or a squat with a heel extension, lifting our heels off the floor if you're indoors and you don't want to jump today. Then we are going to come down to the floor for a burpee, a push-up, and then back to stand, and we do the other lunge on the other side. You repeat as many rounds as you can in the 60 seconds. This is your timing, your tempo. I'm going to get our timer set, so make sure you've got clear space. I'm also going to adjust my camera slightly so that you can trust and believe that I'm doing push-ups with you. All right, let's do this, team. 60 seconds on the clock. We start with our lunge, double pulse, squat, burpee, push-up, and then come up to stand and repeat on the other side. Let's go. So, double pulse, wide squat or a squat jump. Hands go down, legs shoot back. You can stay in plank, you could do a push-up, or you could drop your belly to the floor. Hop in, and then we do the other side. Double pulse lunge, big wide squat jump, hands jump down, legs shoot back, 1 push-up or a plank. Hop in, other side. You are more than halfway there, team. So how many do you want to get in? This is 3 for me. I think you guys are mostly on 4. Some of you are on 5. Get into it. Pick up that pace if you can. Use the space that you have. Looking good. 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Maybe you take belly to the floor, press up, and then jump right back into your lunges. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Nice work, team. Awesome, awesome job. Woo! Stretch it out. Come into a quad stretch. Beautiful. Are we breathing? Not too bad. Going back into it for the first time in 2022. Knees together. Switch sides. I'm breathing. You're breathing. We're alive. It's good. It's good. Take the foot that you're holding on to, step it behind you at a diagonal if that's comfortable. Fingertips together, arms come up, little side bend. Open up that rib cage. And we're going to change it to the other side. So step behind with the opposite leg, fingertips, big side bend. How are we feeling, team? We good? Couple of good endorphins, quick workout. Shoulder stretch. Excellent work. Switch sides when you're ready. We'll get those triceps really quick. They definitely worked. Other side. Beautiful. Take a big inhale up to the sky. Exhale down. One more inhale. All the good stuff, team. Exhale all the bad stuff. Absolutely smashed it. Well done. I'm going to pause our recording.